Heaven whispered your name, louder this time. Someone finally heard it. They saw your shadow and still chose to stay. Your silence wasn't ignored. It became someone's sanctuary. You've been overlooked by many, but one just stared straight into your soul. Your tears watered the seeds of someone else's healing. The love you gave in secret is being returned in waves. You were hidden for protection, not rejection. They prayed for someone, and it was the way your voice cracked that proved it. The ache in your chest is God moving someone closer. A heart has been watching you through dimensions. Your loneliness built the throne they're coming to sit beside. Every time you gave without being seen, heaven kept the receipt. Your kindness wasn't missed. It melted stone around a frozen soul. A divine eye followed every good deed you thought went unnoticed. You're no longer invisible. Someone's spirit has marked you holy. You didn't go unnoticed. You went reserved. They're dreaming of you now, though they don't yet know your name. You were the answer in a prayer they forgot they asked. You gave light. Now light is returning in human form. The one who rejected you is about to witness your favor. They overlooked your presence, but they can't ignore your vibration. You're about to walk into a room and be remembered forever. You weren't meant to be popular. You were meant to be unforgettable. The one sent for you has already tasted your energy in dreams. You are the prophecy someone is waking up to. They never noticed your pain, but angels built a love around it. You are not invisible. You're just sacred. That strange peace you feel, someone just whispered your name in love. You were never ignored. You were being prepared. Your tears marked you for divine visibility. The energy you gave in silence is returning loud and holy. One soul couldn't rest until it knew you existed. A stranger is carrying a memory of you they've never lived. You've entered the season where the overlooked become the chosen. Someone's dreams are beginning to echo your laughter. You gave so much love unnoticed, but divinity took note. You're not just being seen. You're being spiritually claimed. A sacred longing has taken root in someone's heart, and it's shaped like you. They tried to forget you, but heaven didn't let them. You were left out so you could be set apart. You are the divine delay someone is finally ready for. Your patience became a portal. You were hidden in plain sight until love matured enough to see. The silence between you was never empty. It was sacred timing. God saved your heart for someone whose eyes never wander. You are the whisper in someone's chest they can't name. You gave light where it was darkest. Now light is chasing you. They'll call it a miracle. You'll call it recognition. You never needed the crowd, just one soul who truly saw. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. They didn't recognize your love, so God gave them your absence. Your shadow has been haunting the one who left. What once made you invisible is now your sacred signature. They couldn't handle your light, but someone holy is being drawn to it. You weren't passed over, you were preserved. You're about to be seen the way God always saw you. That quiet ache in your spirit is their soul waking up. You are no longer hidden. You are being revealed in someone's destiny. Your name is in someone's heart, and they don't know why yet. A person is being divinely interrupted by thoughts of you. They'll hear your voice in a room you haven't entered. The one who ignored you is now being haunted by what they missed. You are the truth someone is finally ready to admit. You are the memory they never created but still mourn. Someone's soul recognized your frequency before their eyes did. Your love was planted in silence. It's blooming in someone's heart now. You've entered their thoughts uninvited because heaven gave them no choice. You will be noticed at the exact moment they need healing. You are hidden because your light would blind the wrong ones. The one who ghosted you is searching for your soul in strangers. They felt your spirit before they saw your face. You are the unfinished sentence in someone's dreams. You walked away unnoticed. Now every room feels your absence. They laughed at your quietness. Now they crave your peace. You're finally being noticed, because your silence became louder than their noise. Your rejection was someone else's awakening. You've been seen through heaven's eyes. Now the right eyes are catching up. They're starting to remember you, though they never truly met you. God is placing your name in mouths that once ignored you. You are not a second thought. You are the answer. Someone is waking up with your name in their chest. You are no longer waiting. You are rising. They mistook your depth for distance. Now they're drowning in regret. What they ignored in you, someone else is calling divine. You were always worth it. They just couldn't see through dust. Your silence was a message louder than goodbye. You were never too much. They just weren't enough. Your energy is being called into rooms you didn't ask for. The love they overlooked is now your greatest power. Someone's chest tightens when your name crosses their mind. You were their peace, but they had to lose you to know. They chose noise over your stillness. Now they beg for quiet. Your value is echoing where your presence used to be. God removed you so they could see what they buried. You were invisible to them until your absence became unbearable. They thought you were replaceable. Now they chase ghosts. The blessing they didn't recognize has transformed into their greatest lesson. They're realizing you were never background. You were the whole painting. You stayed soft in a world that chewed you, heaven noticed. Someone is crying over the you they never fully met. They kept overlooking you until you became the miracle they missed. Your name is a fire in someone's throat tonight. They finally see you, but your soul already left that room. You were buried, not broken. They called you too quiet, but you were just listening to God. Someone is praying for the same peace you once offered. You didn't fade. You were simply veiled until the time was right. Your wounds are glowing. That's why they can finally see you. The one who dismissed you can't escape your name. Your light couldn't be ignored forever. They forgot your worth. The universe remembered. You'll be seen not for your beauty, but for your endurance. You were always divine. They just weren't awake. Your energy preceded you. Now your body will follow. What was overlooked is now sacred. You were dismissed by the blind. The seeing are arriving. They couldn't hold your spirit, but someone holy will. The glow they mocked is now their prayer request. You were never unnoticed. You were just noticed too late. They feel you before they hear you. You were never invisible, just hidden until the right eyes opened. Heaven didn't forget you. It was preparing a stage no man could dim. Their silence wasn't rejection. It was divine delay, so the right ones could find you. The way you love was never too much, just too rare for the wrong hearts. Someone prayed for a soul like yours. Heaven whispered your name. You kept blooming while no one clapped. Now the sky itself leans closer. You're finally being seen by the one who sees beyond your scars. This isn't attention. This is recognition. Real sees real. They watched you break. Now they'll witness your rise. You're no longer background. Heaven just turned the spotlight. What once ignored you will now need you to breathe. You were never overlooked, just veiled by divine timing. Their eyes weren't blind. Their spirits weren't ready. You didn't go unnoticed. You went unmatched. You were hidden because you're holy. They laughed while you healed. Now they whisper while you glow. You weren't forgotten. You were preserved. The pain made you invisible to man, but magnetic to God. The one assigned to your soul just saw you. Even the stars are bending closer. Your light is undeniable. The silence around you is sacred protection. Someone's finally reading your soul like scripture. You didn't need a platform. You were the altar. God dimmed your surroundings so your spirit could outshine. What passed you by was never meant to recognize you. You've become what you once begged for. Now they're watching. You're not being seen for how you look, but for what you carry. They didn't reject you. They recoiled from the mirror you were. You weren't hidden. You were being divinely announced. Even the wind carries your name now. The one who once doubted you now dreams in your voice. You made it without applause. Now your silence demands it. You're not new, you're revealed. Their eyes are opening just as yours are closing to their approval. That ache in your chest was prophecy forming. God didn't make you loud. He made you unforgettable. You were noticed by angels long before men could see. Heaven never forgot your offering of tears. Even your shadows carry authority now. This glow, it's not revenge. It's revelation. The ones who ignored you are now studying your silence. The path no one walked with you now becomes their blueprint. They're noticing because the divine finally said, now. Every unseen moment was recorded in glory. You were too sacred for surface eyes. Your energy is being summoned in places your name hasn't reached. You're no longer waiting to be seen. You're being worshipped in secret. Those who once mocked are now mimicking. What you endured made you magnetic. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. The silence was the loudest yes heaven could give. They didn't miss you. They misjudged their own depth. You were the prophecy they weren't ready to meet. You're finally being seen by someone who doesn't need to look twice. Your loneliness was sacred training. Someone saw the war in your smile and stayed. They used to call it too much. Now it's mesmerizing. You walked alone, not unloved, but deeply known. You're the prayer being answered in someone else's timeline. They only notice now because your light burns too bright to ignore. You didn't change. Their spirit just matured enough to see. You were a mystery, not a mistake. They looked away when you were empty. Now they marvel at your overflow. Your tears fertilized the future they now find glorious. What ignored you now imitates you. You're the scripture in a world of static. They didn't forget you, they feared you. Heaven marked you with presence, too holy for premature exposure. Your scars now shimmer like prophecy fulfilled. The light didn't finally find you, you became it. You were invisible only to the unprepared. You were God's secret, now you're his spotlight. They notice now because you're no longer begging to be seen. Your silence made more noise than their best performance. You carry the kind of beauty that breaks timelines. Your healing was the glow-up prophecy, kept quiet. You are the answer that once wandered. They see you now, but you've already seen God. This is more than being seen, it's being confirmed. The ones who denied you will narrate your legacy. You didn't change. You were activated. You were buried under not yet. Now you're blooming into watch me. They can't stop watching what they once couldn't recognize. You're not just being noticed. You're being remembered. The light came from the grief they ignored. Your story became sacred the moment they walked away. You're no longer hoping to be chosen. You're being worshipped without trying. God hid you until your worth couldn't be faked. They finally see what heaven never looked away from. You weren't unseen. You were being sanctified. The world's finally waking up to a soul they once put to sleep. Your presence now haunts what once ignored you. You became sacred in your solitude. You're not trending. You're trembling timelines. You carry a silence that makes even angels weep. The divine didn't need the world to see, just the one. You're finally being noticed because you no longer need it. They want back the version they walked away from. But you've become holy. Their eyes saw beauty, but their spirit now sees power. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. You didn't need them to notice. You needed them to remember. You were a revelation, not a phase. They ignored a garden thinking it was dirt. Now they crave your fruit. Your silence was thunder to the ones who once dismissed you. What they overlooked now overshadows everything they chase. You're not a new light. You're a long-forgotten fire. They see you now because you finally stopped waiting to be seen. Your rejection was heaven's rerouting. They dismissed you, but God documented every step. Their attention is not arrival, it's confirmation. You became magnetic the moment you stopped shrinking. The version they ignored is now their obsession. What once tolerated you now testifies about you. You are someone's sacred awakening. Their delay didn't deny you, it defined you. You were always the message. They just now learn the language. The ones who passed you by now pray for a glimpse. You weren't seen too late. You were seen at the appointed hour. They laughed while you grew roots. Now your branches block their sun. What didn't choose you then can't reach you now.